Everyone else has these cool pets that do all this interesting things, like, I don't know, walking on their hind legs, or dancing, or trained in some fashion. I have dogs and cats, but they don't do anything. Well, on occasion they do, but I don't often have a camera ready to record that crap. How do you manage it? Like, alright, if you haven't seen Maru, okay, get out of the way. If you haven't seen Maru, you should check him out. That guy must have record freaking Maru all the time, like all day long. He must be recording, waiting patiently for Maru to do anything worth recording. Yes, we all love Maru, and you know, who doesn't? Who doesn't love Maru? I showed Maru to a couple of people that were like, "Oh, why in the world does so many people watch this dumb cat?" Within a couple of days, guess what they're watching? Freaking Maru. There's no escape. It's just he's the whole reason the internet exists was to get Maru to as many eyes as possible. When that cat dies, well, I don't even want to think about that. We got to change the subject back to my dogs. My dogs and how uninteresting they are. We don't have them inside so much, so maybe if we did, we'd see some silly things. But they're more mischievous than anything else, or they just sit around. I feel like I got gypped in the dog department. Alright, anyway, just the front page on Reddit had the howling freaking wolves, and then like reactions of other dogs to the howling wolves, and that just got me thinking. You know, I look at my dogs and they're just sitting around. They're semi-cute, but they're mutts, so they're not, you know, amazing. I'm just not a dog person, I guess. Anyway, what I really wanted to bring up was, alright, I just finished getting a hold of BioShock Infinite, right? And I just haven't had time to play it. I loaded it, I downloaded it, actually preloaded before the game was out because I had got it with my card. So now I'm ready to actually play it. But a game like that, especially the first part of the game, I want to spend at least three hours. I guess that sounds like a little bit of a lot. 2 to 3 hours, at least, on the very start of the game. And during the week, I don't have that kind of flat time straight, and I don't want to be distracted either. When I'm in the zone, like I said, at the beginning of the game, it's important. You're learning story, you're trying to get to actually playing the game, but you don't want to skip over that crap. So I like to focus on it. So I don't want to be distracted during that time. But when am I gonna have time to do that? How do you guys have this same issue where time is rough, man? It's hard to find time to play games consistently, or chunks of time. That's kind of why I stopped playing League as much, other than, you know, the rage inducement that League gives me. That's what really stopped me from playing League so much, is if I wanted to play like 3 games in a row, it's like an hour and a half at best. At most, they could be like 2.5 hours. Like, it could take a long time in those matches, and you can't even pee. You can't even pee. The couple of minutes that it takes to run over there to go pee and back, you fall behind. That's I guess one of the reasons I like TF2 so much, is you could jump into there and games can run anywhere between 15 to 2 minutes if you lose fast enough. But however long it lasts, I can surely take a quick pee break and still be okay. Still not have my team hating me while I'm AFKing or whatever. But single player games, it greatly affects me on single player games, because I like to play those in chunks. I beat Tomb Raider for the review, and I played it in at least hour chunks, but it was hard pressed to get that kind of straight time to just do that. I'm wondering, that might be actually because I have lost a lot of interest in single player games. That might be what the problem is it's just hard to chunk that kind of time to dedicate to just that. Everything else I do in little bitty sections, like, okay, sometimes at night I'll play, but during night is usually when I'm playing with a group. I don't want to waste my group playing time for single playing time. I don't know, I guess that's a first world problem, but I'm curious to know if anyone else has that kind of an issue where they're trying to juggle, you know, when do I have time to actually play any of these cool games that are coming out, especially right now, versus the other things that in my head, most of us, or a lot of gamers, have their multiplayer game that they like to spend time on, because, you know, I play TF2 forever, and you can continually go back to those, whereas a single player game, they eventually end. Is it common for you all to play in chunks like that, or do you just, you know, play for a second and then switch to another game?